Hello, my dear students, and welcome to your favorite educational YouTube channel, Educator Prerna, or as you popularly know me as English Wali Ma'am. So, आज हमने कल चैप्टर पढ़ा था ट्रायम्फ ऑफ सर्जरी, उसका नेक्स्ट डे है जहां पर हम समझेंगे अबाउट द इम्पोर्टेंट कैरेक्टर्स इन द स्टोरी एंड व्हाट आर द कोर वैल्यूज दैट वी लर्न फ्रॉम दिस पर्टिकुलर स्टोरी. ऑलराइट. सो आपको याद होगा कि जब हमने अपनी मेन रीडर से चैप्टर पढ़ा था लेटर टू गॉड, सो आई टोल्ड यू हाउ डू यू डिफाइन अ कैरेक्टर इन द स्टोरी. We need to quote examples or we need to pick up incidents from the story to justify the character traits of the people involved in the story. All right. So इसमें जैसे कि हमें पता है that the character is James Herriot, Dr. James Herriot. All right. And of course, Mrs. Phumphrey. So when we talk about Dr. James Herriot, the foremost character trait that we come to know about him is that he was a skilled vet. He was a skilled veterinary doctor. How do we know that? That looking at Tricky's condition, he knew that anytime soon he's going to get a call from Mrs. Phumphrey stating that Tricky's condition has worsened. So, and also that he had, very well in advance warned Mrs. Phumphrey that if you continue with this kind of regime of Tricky, giving him extra food, not making him do a lot of exercise, then what is going to happen? Eventually, Tricky's health is going to go from bad to worse. So, how do we know he was killed? The way he talks about Tricky's condition, right? The next thing that we come to know that how he was a skilled doctor is understood by the fact that the manner in which he treated Tricky. So did he really perform any surgery on Tricky? No. He went for a simple method. The line which is there in your text, which says that he wasn't given any medical treatment as such, apart from the fact that he was made to drink water for some days, and then he was also made to do some exercise, just as other normal dogs would do. All right. The second character trait is that he was compassionate. How do we know that he was compassionate? His determination to ensure that Tricky restores his health. His, this habit of raising an alarm that you better take care of your pet or else it is going to be into a bad condition. So he was a compassionate doctor as well. Along with this, so these are the two main character traits of Dr. James Herriot. Other than this, some students also write a character trait like that he had a good sense of humor. How do we know that? When he says that I wanted to keep Tricky as a permanent guest. So the way he describes how, different food items would come for Tricky, but Dr. James Herriot and his colleague would enjoy all those meals. All right. So the three main character traits that you can pick is that one, he was skilled, a very skilled doctor, he was a compassionate being, and of course had a good sense of humor. All right. Then talking about Mrs. Phumphrey. So first, of course, we know that she was extremely rich. How do we know that? That for her pet dog, she had so many materialistic provisions. There were different bowls for different meals of the day. There were different blankets. There were different coats for the dog. Then different meals were served to him. So the kind of that she was giving to her dog Tricky clearly shows that Mrs. Phumphrey was a rich lady. Alright. Then the next character trait is, of course, that she was, you can either write an animal lover or probably a dog lover. Again, you quote the same, almost the same set of examples. Of course, if you want to write very differentiating points, you need to write that how sorrowful she became when Tricky was sent to the hospital for treatment, and how overwhelmed she was when she saw Tricky in a good health condition. So that emotional bond that she had with her dog Tricky, these two also you need to include in this character trait. And then the most important character trait of Mrs. Phumphrey was that she was a careless dog owner or a careless master or a mistress, whatever word you want to write. Alright, how do we know that? That despite repeated warnings from Dr. James Herriot, she did not follow the advice, which led to Tricky's health deteriorate day by day. Alright, so character traits हमने लिखा and then we quote examples from the chapter. Alright, so ये तो हुई character traits की बात. अब हम बात करते हैं what are the values that we learn from this particular chapter. So again आपको याद होगा कि जब हमने letter to God पढ़ा था तो हमने character traits से ही values भी pick up करी थी. Same goes for this. So first is that we should be kind of, you can say we should be loyal towards our work. अब आप बोलोगे और our profession. अब आप बोलोगे मैम हम तो स्टूडेंट हैं, स्टूडेंट भी एक प्रोफेशन ही होता है बेटा. How do you become loyal towards your profession? So as to become skilled by ensuring that you are good in academics and in co-curricular activities as well. I'm not saying that you have to be exceptional always, but you need to be above the set bar. Alright. Second is that we should love animals. Alright. Then another core value that we learn from this chapter is adhering to advice given by experts. Very important value that we learn from this chapter. Adhering to the advice which is given by experts. Dr. Herriot was an animal doctor. He was expert in his work, right? So Tricky को जब उन्होंने देखा था उन्होंने तभी बता दिया था अगर आपने इसको ठीक से खाना देना नहीं शुरू करा, इसकी मील्स पे चेक नहीं रखा, इसको प्रॉपर एक्सरसाइज नहीं दी तो ट्रिकी जो है इसकी हालत खराब हो जाएगी. But did Mrs. Phumphrey adhere to that advice? Did she even follow that advice? No. So क्या हुआ? ट्रिकी की क्या हालत हुई? We all know that. इसी तरह लाइफ में जब आपके एल्डर्स आपको कोई एडवाइस देते हैं, they are more skilled than you in terms of life. They have more experience than you in life than you have, right? तो जब वो आपको कोई एडवाइस देते हैं, that is for your benefit. So that is a core value that we learn from this particular chapter. So ये हुए character sketch as well as the core values that we learn from this chapter. कल हम मिलेंगे तो हम क्या करेंगे? We are going to do the question, we are going to solve the question answers from this particular story, Triumph of Surgery, and of course, we are going to also have a look at some other important questions which we are likely to get from this particular chapter, from this particular story, and I'm also going to make you underline the important extracts from this story. Alright, till then,